Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to do a video talking about how I got into music and basically the evolution of my musical taste. So again, a little different, not an album review. Like yesterday, how I showed my video games. I'm just trying new things. So yeah, so I'm not doing an album review or a guitar cover or anything like that. So this is gonna be interesting to talk about. So basically, as a kid, I was always around music, obviously, because my parents have a pretty big CD collection, and they were always put on like they have a lot of like alternative metal stuff like Deftones or you know, like that, or what else? And then my dad, like, he liked like hard rock and tradition and classic metal, so like AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, and so yeah, that was the kind of stuff I was playing in my house as a kid. So that, and also just like alternative rock, like Smashing Pumpkins. My mom's like, that's like her favorite band. Like, she has a million CDs, and she even has some 7-inches. I actually signed my Billy Corgan. I actually like Smashing Pumpkins a lot, but anyways, so yeah. But when I was a little kid, the band that I really liked a lot, that my parents would play a lot, mostly my mom, is the White Stripes. Yeah, I just really liked, you know, everyone knows Seven Nation Army and all about that song. Yeah, and I loved that song when I was a little kid, and then when I started playing, and that made me want to play guitar. So when I was like 8 years old for my 8th birthday, I got my first guitar, and one of the first songs I ever heard was Seven Nation Army Without Tuning Down. And I remember I was like so fascinated, I was like, oh my god, excuse me, oh my god, I learned Seven Nation Army, da da da. So like, I was so excited, and I'm gonna play that song. And one day, I started learning classical guitar, and then one day my dad was just like, I have a challenge for you. You might learn this, and he puts on Stairway to Heaven, so I was like, this is difficult. So my dad looked up tabs and printed them out, and I learned the song. I was still around 8 years old, and I remember like being like, holy shit, I can play this. And then I got really hardcore into Led Zeppelin in the 3rd grade, and I thought they were like the heaviest thing in the world, since I didn't know much about I didn't know a whole lot about heavy music, obviously, at that age. And so, yeah, that was really funny. So I was really obsessed with Led Zeppelin in the 3rd grade. I had my dad's, like, their greatest hit CD. Like it was like a giant book. I don't know if I showed that in my CD collection or not. I don't remember if I still have it with me or not. Because it's my dad's, and I borrowed that from him. And I really loved that, and that was, like, all I listened to in the 3rd grade. But I wasn't really quite into music until the 6th grade. But hold on. I'll get to that. So in the 4th grade, then I got back into the White Stripes, kind of, because I got really tired of Led Zeppelin, and I got really into the White Stripes, and then I got kind of bored since they only have a certain amount of albums, and I listened to those, like, literally, that's all I listened to all the time in the 4th grade, and then my dad showed me, I think it was my mom, showed me the Wrecking Tours album that Jack White did, and I really liked that. So then I got hardcore into the Wrecking Tours, and I got all their albums, which I don't think I still have with me. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I still have them. I just forgot to show them for my CD collection videos. I should show those off sometime. But anyways, so yeah, I was really into all that stuff. And like, yeah, and then I also tried getting into Dead Weather, but I could never get into them. And then I was in the 4th grade, and around this time Jack White started his solo thing, so I liked that too. Anyways, so then in the 5th grade, and another rock band alternative rock band I got into was the Hives. Like, I heard their song hate to Say I Told You So. I really liked that because I found, and like, I think I heard it, like, my dad had it on Pandora or something, and I was like, wow, I was thinking like, wow, the song sounds kind of cool. And every time I hear that song somewhere, I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. Like, I thought the guitar was so badass. I still kind of like that band to this day. Like, then I found that CD in my parents' collection, and I borrowed it. I think I still have that to this day. It's actually a really good CD. They kind of have a punk sensibility to them. Yeah. The Hives are actually pretty good. Just that first album, I don't like any of their newer stuff. But anyways, then in the 6th grade, the summer before 6th grade, that's when I got really into Smashing Pumpkins and all that. So I was more alternative rock at first. But then, the one thing that changed music for me was when I first heard AFI. Well, I had heard of their stuff like Miss Murder and all that as a kid. My parents had December Underground and Sing Sorrow. And one day my dad bought their Greatest Hits compilation, which I still have with me, which I borrowed like immediately. So he almost never heard of that CD. It was just so great. Like, I love that album. I really liked the older song, the last few songs on there, which were the earlier songs. So I was like, wow, this is really cool. I like my little sister's yelling. Sorry if you heard that. Oh my god, it was just awesome, and I just loved that. So then, in the 6th grade, I wanted to buy all their old albums. So my dad, he took me to our local record store that we live by, which is the closest one we live by. There's a lot of them, like Amoeba and all that we live kind of far away from. But anyways, so yeah, this record store, it's called Chaos Records. It's really awesome. It's pretty small. So we're in there, and I bought AFI's first album, and it's trying to stay fashionable, and I played like nothing but that. And I also got Art of Drowning earlier on. Actually before that, because my dad bought that, and then I asked him where he got that, and then he said, my dad bought that for me. I asked him where he got that, and he said from Chaos Records. And I was like, that's interesting. You should take me there one day. So I saved a bunch of money, and then I got Trying to Stay Fashionable. And then after that, I got what's it called? Freaking just all their old albums basically. And I've loved all those, and especially my favorite is, and it still is my favorite, was Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes. And I loved that album because it was so angry and aggressive, and that's one of my favorite albums to listen to when I'm pissed off, because it's so good. If you haven't heard that album and you're looking for music to listen to when you're pissed, listen to that album. It's so good. Like, you could feel like the aggression in the music. It's not just aggressive. You could feel like the emotion in David Havok's vocals. He's pissed off. Like, that's such a good album. So after when I wanted to discover more punk, I was on the internet, and I'd be like listening to AFI, right? Like, I was listening to the All Hallows EP before I got it when I switched to vinyl, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, I heard them play Halloween on the All Hallows EP, and I was like, wow, that's a good song. But in the description of the video, it said it was a Misfits cover, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of the Misfits. So I was like, whatever, I want to hear the original song. So I googled the original song, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. I really liked Danzig's deeper vocals, but I didn't know it was Danzig at first, actually. I thought it was just an ordinary singer from the band I had just discovered called the Misfits. And I don't know, I didn't recognize who it was until I read on until a few weeks after I first heard the Misfits on Wikipedia that said Glenn Danzig vocals on their original albums. And I was like, wait a second, that sounds familiar. Because my mom had Danzig's first album in her CD collection, and I think a few EPs and stuff. I don't know. I can never really get into Danzig's solo career. I'm more into Sam Hain when it comes to projects he did outside of the Misfits. But anyways, yeah, then I got a few Misfits albums. I started out with the clean ones like American Psycho and Famous Monsters, and then I progressed onto the Danzig era ones and all that. And I really liked those. So I had a shitload of those. But anyways. And that summer I listened to like nothing but the Misfits. Ooh god, and that's when I had a Kiss phase, the band Kiss. I got into that band because like my dad got me a guitar magazine, and I subscribed to it, and one of the issues had Kiss on it, and I thought their makeup was cool when I was in the 6th grade. And then I got like a giant poster I used to have over there that replaced an Iron Maiden album poster of Covered Killers and all that. And yeah, I was like really into Kiss, and then I kind of got over them when my dad showed me Metallica in the beginning of 7th grade, and I thought that was like the hardcore, like the most hardcore, heaviest shit in the world. The first real metal band I got into, and I really liked that. But at the same time, I was also discovering more punk bands like the Ramones. I found like a Ramones CD in my family's garage. And I was like, huh, I've heard they're punk, and I've heard that they sound like the Ramones. So I listened to that, and I got really into the Ramones. I also got into, Black Flag. An old friend of mine showed me, let me borrow his copy of My War, and then Black Flag, I just loved that, so, yeah. I don't know, and then since then I've just loved Black Flag have been my favorite band of all time since I first heard them. I freaking love Black Flag. Yeah. So after that, then I got really into metal after I got into Black Flag. At the same time, I was listening to a lot of Metallica, but I wanted something a little more, just a new band. Since the only Metallica albums that I liked were like the first 4, and I got the Black album, and I didn't like that. And I also heard I got Load. I actually kind of liked Load. But yeah, I wanted something more. So my dad, like one day he was just like, my family's listening to music in the living room. My dad pulls out his copy of Vulgar Display of Power from Pantera, and he's all, here, listen to this. You might like this. And I was just like, huh, okay. It has a parental advisory sticker on it. And my dad's just like, yeah, I'm parental advising you to ignore the cussing and just listen to it. So I was like, okay. So I heard Pantera, and I think I'd heard Cowboys from Hell or Walk or something. I listened to the CD, and I thought that was the heaviest shit in the world when I heard that. And I remember it being just fucking awesome. I loved that album. It was so heavy to me at the time, and yeah, that's a good album. I really like Boulder Display of Power. Not my favorite from the band, but it's definitely one of their best. Yeah, and at the same time, around that time, I also discovered Megadeth, and I got their Greatest Hits CD, and I would blast that all the time, and I really liked that. Yeah, I really liked, like I heard Holy Wars and, like, Guitar Hero or something, and I really liked that. So, yeah, and then later I also got into Anthrax after I heard, Got the Time. Yeah, so then I got a bunch of Anthrax albums. Oh, and Iron Maiden also. I also got into Iron Maiden around the same time that I was getting into Megadeth and Pantera and Anthrax. I also discovered Iron Maiden, and I got their Greatest Hits CD, and I really just love all those bands. And then that's pretty much like almost all that I listened to at the same time until towards the end of 7th grade, when I met another friend who he's not really, I don't know, I feel like sure in high school, he kind of turned into a jock, so he kind of sucks now. And he started listening to like rap, and he turned into an asshole. But anyways, I shouldn't really be talking about something personal like that in a video, but I don't know, like, he introduced me to a bunch of more punk bands, like, he showed me, like, TSOL and the Circle Jerks, and then on my own, I discovered bands like Bad Brains and Minor Threat and Agnostic Front. Yeah, so then I got really into punk, and then that summer before 8th grade, I got, like, so many classic albums like Bad Brains' I Against I and their self-titled, Minor Threat's complete discography. I got like one of the newer Agnostic Front albums was called Another Voice. I got a bunch of really good hardcore and punk albums, and I was really into that in throughout pretty much all the 8th grade. And then until one day my dad was just like, hey, like I found tickets to go see Anthrax. They were opening for this band called Lamb of God, and I was just like, okay, that's cool. And I was really excited since that was going to be my first concert. So I was curious to hear Lamb of God, so I looked them up, and then I thought that was the heaviest shit in the world. And I was just like, I don't know, all this amazed I heard when I first heard Ashes of the Wake. I loved that, and then I got their album Sturm und Drang, and then Ashes of the Wake, and then As the Palaces Burn, and New American Gospel, and I loved that. And then when we saw them live, I was just blown away. I just freaking love that band. So yeah, and then, honestly, in the 8th grade, I listened to a lot of punk in the 8th grade. And in the 8th grade, I started discovering bands like the Adolescents and the Dead Kennedys. Who else did I discover? Oh, Descendants. I actually don't have any albums from them. I really want to get Mile Goes to College, but it's kind of hard to find on vinyl. Yeah, who else? I'm trying to think. Gorilla Biscuits, I discovered them, my favorite straight edge band. Yeah, just a lot. And at the same time, I think that was good music for me around that time, since I guess 8th grade was kind of like, there's a lot of bullshit I had to deal with in 8th grade, and I just really liked the aggression in music, like, you know, like in the Adolescents, the snidiness of their punk and anger, and songs like I Hate Children and stuff like that I really liked. So, yeah, that was really good outlet for me, for basically just being pissed off. And I really liked that. And then, yeah, and Lamb of God was a very good outlet for anger, since they're an extreme metal band. They're not the heaviest, they're a groove metal band, but they're an extreme metal band. Yeah, I really like Lamb of God still. So yeah, that summer, what happened that summer is that I discovered, when I first discovered NoFX that summer, I was just like, because I thought they were pop punk. At that time, I was kind of an elitist when it comes to punk. I was just like, okay, I don't like this. When I first listened to Punk and Drunk, I was like, I kind of like this, but at the same time, like, the elitist in my back of the head was just like, no, don't listen to this. You don't like this because you don't like Green Day and Blink-182. So at first, I didn't like Punk and Drublic, but then, I kind of forced myself not to like it, because then I was just like, you know what, screw this, I like it. And I got really hardcore into NoFX that summer. And also at the same time that summer, I wanted to discover more metal bands, so I started a playlist of metal, and like, it's just metal bands. Like, I just look at metal, like thrash metal bands and stuff, and I heard of that, like you know, on YouTube. And basically that list, it started out as like 8 songs, and then that I'm still adding stuff to that list now. You can actually look at it. I don't have it private. It's a really good metal playlist. Now that playlist is at like 50-some songs. It's insane. So I have, what I have on there, I have like Annihilator, Early Sepultura, Death, I have a lot of Death on there. One of my favorite bands right now. I want to get their album Leprosy on vinyl. It'd be really cool. Oh, and Slayer, who I also got a few records from recently. And so yeah, and then I started really liking Slayer so much that I got Seasons of the Abyss and Rain and Blood, which I showed you recently in my vinyl update videos. So yeah, recently I've been listening to a lot more metal. Yeah, and I want to buy more metal albums on vinyl. I also switched to vinyl the summer before 9th grade, which is this year. I'm in the 9th grade, and I really like. I don't know. I just wanted a better way for me to listen to music because sometimes I wanted to check out record stores, and then we go there and it'd be vinyl only. So I'd be like, you know what? I feel like switching to vinyl because it just seems like a more fun thing to collect, and it's a little easier to find in record stores. So yeah, and then I switched to vinyl that summer. But anyways, yeah. So recently I've been listening to a lot more heavier metal. So yeah, that's really cool. And I know about like I don't know. I'm like thrash metal, but like the heavier thrash metal that's borderline death metal. I know that death is considered death metal, but I don't see them as that because the lyrics aren't really gory. They're more like just a really different thrash metal band. There's really heavier. Yeah. So yeah, like really heavy thrash metal like Death and Slayer, Annihilator, early Sepultura, Overkill. Who else is there? Testament. Yeah, stuff like that. Really great. So yeah, that's where I am now with my musical taste. So yeah, I guess how I got into music really wasn't when I first heard AFI. I just liked the aggression, and then it just evolved from there on. Now I'm into metal, and I'm into metal and hardcore and punk. So yeah. So I guess that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you want to tell me how you got into music and comments below, then let me know because I'd like to hear. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.